Welcome to episode 6 of Two Dumb White Guys. Yes, we are officially a mini-series after this episode. My name is Paul Davidson.
And I am Scott Norman.
And today, what we are going to do is we are going to answer questions from...
The Suggustion Box.
Oh, yes. And I was looking through there earlier, and I believe one suggestion is, what is your plans this New Year's?
Maybe there's some old suggestions in here.
But the plan is for us to burn through them, get through all of them, and get the box is done. This is a Q&A episode of Two Dumb White Guys. So,
yes, and the box will still be in its normal place, those of you who attend the school where we work.
Yes, we're not we're burning the questions in the box, not the box itself. The box itself is very much like the box from Shirley Jackson's The Lottery, and if you've been in my English class, you know that we might stone somebody at the end of this, but I digress. It's probably going to be Mr. Norman.
I'm so confused. So a little bit of history of the Suggustion Box. One of my students, who I cannot name due to FERPA, created us what she believed to be a suggestion box. She spelled it wrong, so it is forever now the Suggustion Box.
Which also shows the malleability of the English language. Even though she spelled it wrong, the communicative fashion of it was still in place, and we've been able to take it, embrace it, and make it into our own.
Absolutely, absolutely. And so we are, as we go through these things, set them either as Class 1, which is Answer Now, or Class 2, which means worthy of a future episode. Now, we might touch on those a little bit or hint at it, but we will take those, set them to the side, and we will revisit them in feature length. So, would you like to just dive right in?
Let's dive right in.
All right, we'll pass it back and forth. I'll grab one and pass it to you here. So, Suggustion number 1 out of the box. We have... Have you ever seen a mint green colored Porsche GT3 911 driving down the interstate? The answer to that question is, if I had, I would not have known it, except that it was mint green.
I'm just going to go ahead and say, no, I have not.
All right, so if you drive that mint green Porsche, we haven't seen you yet.
But we will when we own one. All right, next question is, how did you meet anyway? Because you seem like childhood friends. Also, what is your plans for the new year?
I'll answer first and say that our plans for the new year are rather distant because we've got a solid 11 months left. If you meant this year, then the plans have already occurred, and that was to go to sleep.
All right, and the second answer, or the first answer to the first question actually is, we have known each other since August of 2015. I looked back and looked because I remember pulling that out earlier. I believe it was August 15th of 2015 because we had to go to that first year teacher thing up in Cape at the RPDC. That's when we first met.
Yeah. Okay.
And then after that, it's just been,
Yes, and we do have a little bit of shared history that we didn't know until after teaching with each other, and that is we both come from the coaching tree of Dr. Fridley. We are
Fridleyites.
Yes, or proselytizers of the great Fridster.
Yes.
So however you would like to phrase that.
But yes, we are. So if you ever recognize some similarities in me and Mr. Norman's teaching styles, it's actually because we received pretty much the same teaching education.
I'm going to read this one, and then we'll move on. It says, weed. Actually, at some episode, we might address the massive national movement for legalization, but my only address for this is use weed and feed. It'll get rid of it.
Roundup ready. You got to make sure you got to understand, dicamba, liberty, all that stuff. They just have to determine what weed it is, and then you can get rid of it.
Be careful with dicamba, though. It kills a lot of stuff.
All right, our next one is discuss about the list of all the people that die in your classes.
Okay, that is a specific student for sure. There are 2 students, actually, that might be from. We can't name either one of them, but one of them died in Mr. Davidson's classroom, in Julius Caesar, I believe.
Yes.
And the other one was an often prop in my classroom. Every time that someone died in World War I, he was just sitting in the right seat, and it was him. Students, you know who you are, both of you.
And, here's the big thing about that. Humans are pattern recognizing creatures, and so if you just so happen to be in my books, which I don't know why it is, but a lot of literature, people die, and if you have a character that dies, there's a good chance that you're going to have a character that dies in the books, especially if we're reading a tragedy like Julius Caesar.
All right, so far we have not come across a true class 2 keeper.
The closest was weed.
The closest was weed. This one is who is the best cook? I have no idea. Do you cook?
I do most of the during the week cooking, since my wife works till 5 o'clock and I get off at 3:30. I'm able to do a lot of the during the week cooking, even though I'm not necessarily really great at it. I'm competent at it. My wife is a master cook and a master baker. She is like really excellent at baking, but I am adequate at cooking.
I am definitely not an expert. If you give me a grill or a griddle, then I can probably handle myself just fine. But my wife...
Norm-overs?
Yes, norm-overs. But my wife, that's another whole... Anyway.
We can't just talk about those things on the podcast.
Oh, yes. Shout out to Trover. And then he says, do a ramen noodle challenge and see who can make the best. I think we were probably equal on breaking noodles into
I would
water.
win.
You would win that one?
I'd win because the secret is, I'm going to give you my secret already.
Sriracha.
No.
Oh.
The secret is, instead of water and the packet of seasoning,
Yeah.
chicken broth and bouillon cubes. That's the secret.
Wait, chicken broth and bouillon cubes? Mm-hmm. That's like eating salt.
It is eating salt.
All right, he might win.
Yes. And I usually I like to put chicken in there. Like actual chicken, and I put like eggs in there sometimes. Like it's a
Wow, like you make legit like ramen.
Yeah, like you all because you live like a college. You are a college kid does not mean you have to eat like one. All right, so mine is pop culture.
That might be a class 2 if it gets some specificity.
But say that's too wide. Like there is a lot to popular culture. It's more massive than our tiny podcast can tackle in about 30 minutes to an hour.
I agree, and to that pop culture card, I say thank you. Next. All right. Oh, sorry.
This is the one.
Oh, here we go. This one needs to be addressed. I feel like I'll stop crinkling the paper as much as I keep crinkling the paper.
No, you just love making those noises on the
do.
mic.
I'm trying to do some ASMR. Okay, sorry. That was for my seniors. Mr. Davidson's old YouTube of him pole vaulting at the Delta Center. All right, I want to see it or I want to hear about it.
Okay, so like there's a lot to unpack here. All right, so yes, there was a video of me pole vaulting at the Delta Center. This is actually between my teaching at North Pim and the summer I taught at Campbell. This is when that occurred.
So you were already a teacher and
I was
you were pole
already a teacher when we were doing this. And it was in July and it was really hot and we were laying drip tape, which drip tape is like just irrigation type of tape that you usually will see on like rooftop farms or with things like watermelons or cantaloupes or whatnot. And we were testing to see how it would do in gumbo. And traditionally, there's like a machine that will do it for you, but we had an old and busted machine that required 4 of us just to be able to lay the pipe, where one person stood at one end of the field so the tractor could line up on them, another person driving the tractor, one person holding the end of the drip tape, and another person sitting on the machinery to keep it level enough to go. So it was a very hot day for all of us when we were doing that. And at the end of the day, we had finished the whole thing, and somebody dared me to jump the thing. And so I tried it earnestly the first time and failed. Then I tried it earnestly the second time and failed. From that point, the third time, I just goofed and failed intentionally. And the last time I actually accomplished it, got all the way across the ditch. And we're not talking like a tiny ditch. We're talking about like a ditch the size
3 or 4 miles wide.
like right next to railroad tracks. That's how deep the ditch would be. And then I make it across the 4th time, and I'm like, yay! And I'm like, I'm already nasty and disgusting from this stagnant ditch water, and I just fell backwards in it. And I uploaded it to YouTube. It was pretty hilarious. But then my students at Campbell found it, and the administrators at Campbell came up to me and asked me to delete it if I wanted to keep my job. So it no longer exists because of that.
Man, I think our students would love it.
They would.
All right. Oh, wait, no, it's your turn. I'm about to do another one.
I forgot I had one. I got so wrapped up in that stupid story. Okay. Yo, what's up, teachers? I'm making a new song on SoundCloud called Greatest If Will Be a Fire Song. That is all it says. So that's not really a suggestion.
Right.
That's a recommendation.
Yeah, we don't even know who you are. Like, we're not even just bleeping it out. They did not include their own name.
They didn't include the SoundCloud, you know, so sorry, you can't get those taste of views.
All right, so could be a fire beat, but it's not melting our ears. All right, so I would like for Big Norm and Young Davidson to drop a dope podcast about their favorite memes and memes that should be eradicated. Mainly an episode about meme in general. I think that's a class 2.
That's a class 2. Because we even talked about it, because I had an article I had to read about memes and education over last semester, and we thought about even doing a podcast then. So that's a class 2.
Congrats, student in first hour, I believe, who turned that in. That's a class 2.
But we'll dabble with it just a little bit. We're going to say, what is our current favorite meme?
Oh, okay.
So what is your current favorite meme?
Current favorite meme. You feel like it seems to me that you have one pulled up here.
I'm about to pull one up.
Okay.
Basically, I'm looking at my Twitter and seeing what the last meme I actually interacted with.
I'm guessing it has to do with Alabama football.
No, it doesn't.
Oh, okay.
Technically, it's kind of a meme, I guess. So my current favorite meme is a map of the United States with the most popular thing from each state, and this is the most popular Super Bowl food, but they're always fake things.
I see.
So right now, my favorite meme is this map that has Missouri's favorite Super Bowl food is soup served on plates, and Arkansas's is flamin' hot Cheeto brittle.
Actually, that kind of sounds good.
You're from Virginia, and no one cares about Virginia. That's what it says right there. No one cares about Virginia.
Alrighty. So, honestly, the only meme that is coming to mind is not from something that I've seen actually on the internet. It's actually something that I saw in a game called What Do You Meme, that is basically apples to apples with memes. And it is Kim Jong-un standing there with a confused look on his face, and it just says, what? W-U-T. It's my fave right now.
All right. This next suggestion is: what car do you guys think is faster? The Koenigsegg 1 or the Bugatti Chiron?
I'm going with Bugatti.
I'm going with the Bugatti because it's the only one I really know.
But the actually fastest car would actually be a Tesla Roadster coming out 2020.
What is your dream car?
If there's charging stations everywhere, probably a Tesla Roadster.
I would like a Tesla, but I would say my dream car, the car that I would be like, I would love to have that car, would be a 67 Stingray.
I'm not a car person in near as much. If it has wheels and gets me where I need to go, then it's my dream car for right now.
We're still going. What modifications would you make to your dream car? Nothing.
Yeah, no, I'm good.
What color do you want your dream car?
One that has low insurance totals.
Porterville Blue.
All right.
And what types of tires will you use?
All weather.
The medium-priced ones, not the most expensive, not the cheapest, but that third brand they put in the middle.
Yeah, I'm going all weather tires, but the mid-rangers. Yeah, I'm not paying a lot. All right, we have react to K-pop. Okay, I'll react right now. All right.
I am more favorable to K-pop. I recognize it as a genre. I applaud our kids for being multicultural and appreciating K-pop itself. So K-pop is all right with me.
So we maybe at some point, if in the meme episode or something, we'll actually react to specific K-pop. The second thing on this, it says read fan fiction.
Do you want us to just...
We don't have fan fiction.
Have students started writing fan fiction about us?
I don't know.
Hopefully it's not /fic.
Hey, if we... I don't even know what that is.
You don't want to know what it is.
Should we have dropped the name on the... Anyway, yeah, there's a shout out to a YouTube channel, but I don't know the content of that YouTube channel, so I am not going to shout it out. I apologize.
All right. To make first hour's name Sharknado instead of Ocean. That's your...
All right, I'll set that to the side. We'll have to vote on it. All right, so we have a massive stack here. Shout out to Roanoke and What Happened to the Native Americans. We actually did a full podcast on what happened to the Native Americans.
But we didn't talk about Roanoke.
So I'm going to call that Class 2. We'll mention Roanoke next time.
Fix the Suggustion Box.
No, it's going to stay the Suggustion Box. Deal with it. I want a pony and a Ferrari Enzo would be fine with red leather. Okay, this is just a request for a car.
This is back when they thought we were Santa.
Yeah, we're not Santa. All right.
All right. Talk about all the kids that die in your class and all the weird things your students say in class.
Okay, so we already talked about the kids that die in class. Is this the same person, or did we get one from each student? Oh, I think we got one from each student, because that is the other student.
Weird stuff kids say in class. Kids say all kinds of weird stuff. Like, the weirdest stuff I would say would probably be, like, the noises.
Oh,
like,
yes.
There's certain students of ours that will just do animal noises in the middle of class.
You know who you are.
They'll go, brrr.
Yeah.
And I don't even have them in class now, and they'll just walk by and look at me and go, brrr.
Yes, you know who you are.
Yes,
I'm staring down the microphone because you know who you are. Also, we'll give a shout out as far as weird things said in class to the fan favorite Afra country, because they could not, for the life of them, understand the difference between continent and country, and no matter how many times I explained it, they thought Africa was a country.
No, the best one is still point to Missouri on a map.
Oh, yes.
That was the best one.
They all know who that is.
Yes. All right, so this one is Farm Depression, Sad Rednecks. So the Great Depression, but dealing with primarily, which, if memory serves me correct, didn't the Great Depression hit the rural environment way before it hit the nationwide?
Well, believe it or not, the Farm Depression actually was a precursor to the Great Depression, and there is a lot to be said about that, but I'm not going to lie, unless we really dug into some primary sources, it would probably be something that would bore people stiff.
Yes, and we could also talk about, you could talk about Steinbeck. Steinbeck wrote a lot about that particular time, and he had a very positive, and that's in quotations, about the farm years of the Great Depression.
Be nice to the bunnies, Lenny. All right, how political parties have divided America.
That is section 2.
Yeah, that is definitely a class 2 question. We will set that to the side, and we will address that at a later time. Oh, it's your turn. There's your stack, sorry.
Do a podcast that educates on Alexander Hamilton. Okay, we could possibly do that. Dank memes. We've already established we will. The Fortnite dance. And do a will laugh.
A will laugh.
Basically, that's the YouTube challenge where students watch like other YouTube videos.
Oh, I see.
And then if they laugh, they spit water.
Oh, we are not a visual medium.
We are not. You can only listen to us in your ears.
So here, I'm gonna do it right now.
That guy got hit in the genitals.
Oh, wow. All right.
But the Fortnite dance. What about the Fortnite dance?
I'm doing it right now.
The floss.
I'm doing the floss. Oh, man. Davidson is just perfect orange justice.
I'm gonna say, you know the dance that they said that they should, of that one kid that he did that said this should be on the Fortnite, and he was just him doing crazy. That's just what I pulled off. All right, but I do think Alexander Hamilton, maybe.
Yeah, well, class 2, I have several students who are in love with Alexander Hamilton. We have opinions
Alexander
on Article
Hamilton.
13. Okay, so opinions on Article 13 is actually a great question. Article 13 is something that was just passed in Europe. I don't know if it was by the Eurozone or if it was by I get confused between the Eurozone and the other...
European Union?
Yeah, there you go. So I don't know if it's the EU or the Eurozone, which are two different things. One is an economic region, one is a kind of geopolitical pact. And one of the two of them passed Article 13, which bans any copyrighted material from being used, even if cited, on spaces on social media.
I'm against that.
So a lot of creators on YouTube are very much against it. Shout out to tech reviewer Mr. Who's the Boss, who has actually addressed this. So if you are really genuinely interested in the issues, there are some great reviews of this. Who's the guy who does news all the time on YouTube?
Philip DeFranco?
Yes, he actually has a good review of this.
He does?
Yeah, I believe it was him. So I believe Philip DeFranco has one.
Philip DeFranco.
And secondly, Mr. Who's the Boss, another one. He's a tech reviewer, but he is impacted by this, so he has a lot on
This
it.
is a new show.
So Article 13, I'm going to kind of set that. It's going to get a 1.5. If something more dramatic does happen, we might pick that back up.
We could wrap it into a Brexit one, because I'm interested in figuring out just what the heck Brexit is.
Yeah, okay.
All right. My suggestion is bottomless bowl of peanut M&Ms. which I say, meh. I don't like peanut M&Ms.
If you want to give me a bottomless bowl of peanut M&Ms, I will take it. We have our opinions on young stars such as music, movie, and YouTubers, also the internet. I think the internet is definitely a rising star. I think he'll be famous someday.
It's another broad question. You need to narrow it down. Like, you need to bring us a fish and not bring us the entire continent of Eurasia. All right, mine that I just picked out of the box is... When will pigs fly, if ever? And do you like Ghost Ship?
I will answer the first question because I have no idea what the second question is. So my answer to the first question is when you put them on planes.
That is true. And I guess technically, would it still be a pig if it involved wings, or if we genetically modified wings to pigs?
It would be
a pigodactyl.
I'm not going to talk.
Pterodactyl.
I think you should leave it at pigodactyl.
Pigodactyl. All right, I'll tackle the other one. Ghost Ship. Ghost Ship is a movie, and at one point they say this is a ghost ship. That's about all I have to say about
Ding.
Ghost Ship. It's meant as a ghost ship moment. So like anytime that you mention like the title of the movie or the show in the movie or the show, that's the ghost ship moment.
Dude, I'm white guy.
He did it! He did it!
All right, ghost ship moment. So, this one has a specific student talking about himself. He says, fill in the blank student needs a raise. More money, please. I don't pay you, so I can't give you money. Needs more weights for Christmas. 100-pound dumbbells. No, he says the beast is coming back. All right, good job working out. I will say, we had a party in class today, ate a lot of junk food. He ate a single Dorito because he said he wanted to stay healthy. So I will shout that unnamed student out.
We all know who that is.
Yeah, everyone at Portageville High School knows who that is.
Mine is pasta or pizza.
Oh, pizza.
Pizza,
Easy.
yes.
I do not like the slimy noodles.
Would you eat or have you ate macaroni pizza?
I think I tried it at Cece's once, but that's probably not like the best representative sample.
I think that's the only representative sample.
Okay, well in that case it was okay.
Just
like everything
else at Cece's.
All right, this one is birds and bees. Well, they're things that fly around.
One pollinates, the other doesn't.
Yeah, and so there you go. I mean, you once again have to be a little bit more specific. Are we talking about bluebirds? I mean,
are we talking
dodos?
About African bees? Are we talking about Brazilian bees?
Yeah, I mean, it's very broad, but there you go. We shouted you out.
React to BTS. Tell us your thoughts about Kpop. Talk about Jin's handsome face. And please don't do racist impressions of the pretty boys.
Okay, I don't even know what that means, but we won't.
Okay, so BTS. I know this because of a junior. This is actually from, I'm guessing, freshman.
Yes, these are freshmen.
I am impressed, like, how much K-pop has, like, become a thing within... You know what? We might just have to do a full episode of K-pop. Like, we had to learn K-pop. Because, like, I know who BTS is thanks to a junior who... very adamantly talked about Jonghyuk and how beautiful he is and all of the BTS's amazing music. And so I know a little bit about it, and once again, I am perfectly fine with it, but it's like we need to do something with it.
All right, so you've officially earned Class 2 K-pop. All right, next up, rap music.
Still broad, so...
give me your top three.
Top three?
Yep.
My top three rappers, I would have to go, or current or all time? All time, all right. So...
oh gosh, all time made it harder.
All time made it harder. I'm going, number one is Dre. Dre is the best rapper of all time, in my opinion. I would then go, I'll go modern. I'll put Kendrick in there. I like Kendrick. And then Kanye West, because I'm white.
I'm just because there's the debate about the people. I'll go with the ones that I listen to. And so I'm going to go number three, NF. Number two, we will go with Fizzle. He's actually from St. Louis. I've met him several times. Just got actually shot 6 times, but he's okay. But Fizzle from St. Louis. And number one, we'll go KB.
And I will give like a shout out to like some lesser known rappers that I have listened to. There's this guy named John Rubin. I like some of his stuff. I was really into it my early years of college. And then there's this guy named Lyrics Born who sings the song. I like it. I love it. And it's an amazing song just about how much this guy likes this girl.
And we'll shout out another unnamed student and say 100% reason to remember the name. The meme is still going. He knows who he is.
This one is targeted at me.
Okay, I want to know.
And it hurts. It pains me as I wear my Alabama jersey. This is not my Tua jersey that I have. I do have a Tua jersey, but I didn't wear it because I didn't want to get dirty today.
But there is a Tua on it.
There is a Tua on it. It's not for Jalen Hurts either. It's for Derrick Henry, another Heisman winner. But it talks about the Heisman. Why did Kyler Murray get the Heisman and Tua didn't?
He was better.
He played in the Big 12. He was not better. He played in the Big 12. He played in the Big 12. He won his last big game. Tua had a lot of big names around him. They usually frown upon that. And, like, come on. If Jalen Hurts, I love Jalen Hurts, and if he wins a Heisman, I'll be happy. But if it's 3 years in a row the Oklahoma quarterback wins the Heisman Trophy because they put up astronomical numbers in the weak Big 12, it's like go jump in a lake, Heisman.
He can't. He just stands there on a podium. Redneck USA. What about it? I mean, this is.
Are we talking about like JYA redneck? Are we talking about Point redneck? Are we talking about 5-0 redneck? Are we talking about?
I am so lost.
Are we talking about Scrub Bridge redneck?
So
are we talking about Hayward rednecks?
My background on that is the closest I've ever been. I did live in Alabama for a time. I have lived here for a time. But I've been told by several folks that there's a difference between redneck and hick, and I don't know enough.
Okay, this is just a list of Rucka Ali songs that we need to check out.
And I know who turned that in, and he is just happy that you said that name.
Chim John Unsong.
I'm going to go ahead and say...
Vegans, Trump.
Go ahead and pause you.
My name is Obama. These are probably inappropriate, but
yes.
they at least deserve to be read.
Okay.
I don't like white people, which, hey, I don't blame him. And do what I ever... Okay. So.
Yeah, do not take that as a recommendation. We have no idea what it is, but based on the recommending... Anyway.
The recommender.
The recommender, I'm scared. This says rainbow. Thank you. Next. It reminds me of ASDF movie, but anyway.
Okay, after the show, I have to tell you something. All right.
Now
they want to know.
Yeah,
I can't. I really
move
can't. On. What? This is probably a class 2. I feel like this could be a class 2.
All right, let's hear it.
Do you think the Confederate flag is the R word?
And by R word, they mean racist.
And not the other R word.
Yes.
So I feel like that could be something we could talk about.
I think that could definitely be... Maybe that goes... Pick back up Redneck USA and staple them together. All right, so let's put those over there. I might have already offended people just by saying that together.
Ooh, shots fired from Mr. Norman.
I'm sorry. All right, next up we have Cardi versus Nicki. Who won the fight?
I don't know. I'm gonna go Nicki because I've known Nicki longer, and there's a couple of Nicki Minaj songs that I really do like, and I think are creative, and I haven't really ever listened to Cardi B.
Well, she makes money moves, so we'll just go with her. But I'm actually going with whoever won that fight where they threw shoes at each other because that's amusing to me.
I feel like I have the best suggestion. All
right, what is it?
Stop. Which we tried, and it didn't work. We didn't get any views.
We tried to stop, and no matter how long we stopped, the views didn't go up, so we decided to make more videos. All right, this is a Suggustion. It's all caps, so it's yelling.
So yell.
You should do a read comments from students like a Q&A. Congratulations, that's a class 2. We're doing it right now.
Yes, we're doing it.
And he says, I say he, this might be a girl, I don't know. It says, yo, Mr. Norman, what is your thoughts on the letter E? Next.
Does Lightning McQueen have life insurance or car insurance?
Both.
I was about to say, I think both, because, like, life insurance over himself, but, like, doesn't he ride in the back of that truck? And so technically he would have car insurance for that truck.
Car insurance on Mac.
Yeah. So
Or at least Mac's whatever that's called, trailer.
Yeah, so there you go.
I don't know who this one is directed at all. Talk about getting hair growth supplies. It says extensions for Davidson as well. Would you like to address that?
I've actually tried. I haven't tried extinctions, and like I haven't necessarily gone full out and like gotten hair plugs or anything like that. But like I have tried like thickening shampoo. I've tried Rogaine. Like I've tried stuff. It doesn't work.
What was the one that used to be on TV? All the commercial.
The Bosley.
Bosley.
I haven't tried Bosley. I think that was too expensive. But yeah, I've tried them. They don't work. Like it's just like I'm friar tucking it. It's all good.
All right, you're next.
All right. Talk about the school system and the rules you have to follow and stuff like that, please.
Wait, say that again?
Talk about the school system and the rules you have to follow and stuff like that, please.
Actually, we might save that
for the time we
have
get fired.
We have exactly.
I'll tell you something about this school.
we have a top secret something in the works. We might drop a few more hints at the end of this podcast, but just know that one might be a class 2, and we might have someone help us address it.
Have our actual first ever guest, or probably not, because there's one guest that we really want to get, but she's like, "No, y'all are stupid. Leave me alone."
Yeah, and then she glares at us and calls herself Satan. Anyway, so this one says, "Men in government deciding on women's rights." That is an interesting hot button issue. However, I will say the Speaker of the House is a female.
She is a woman. And I don't know if, like, I feel like we could possibly get a Class 2, but I don't know if we get a long enough episode out of a Class 2 on that.
Yeah, so I feel like that would be something that would end up in kind of a collection of government issues. So we might...
So it's another 1.5?
Yeah, that's another 1.5. We'll put that in the middle. It also has young people's fascination with serial killers. Yikes.
Young people's fascination. Well, it's not just young people's fascination. There's like general fascination with serial killers in general. It's the same reason why like Law and Order SVU is such a popular show, is that we want to see the quote unquote cheerleader get sexually assaulted, and we just crave those things. That we live vicariously. Not to say that we want to do it per se, but like that is that thrill of being able to see into the mind of something that is so outside of the norm that the human brain just craves to see.
Speak for yourself. I watch Psych.
I honestly don't watch SCP.
Oh.
My wife does, and my wife watches all the serial killer things.
Yeah,
and she wakes up, and then I wake up, and she has a knife in front of me in the middle of the night and says "soon." So
yeah, I don't see anything wrong with that. And I'll shout out Psych, by the way, greatest TV show of all time, not named Sherlock.
Yeah, Sherlock's all right. All right, react to memes. All right, we've talked about it, but specifically Shrek memes.
Get out me swamp.
The only Shrek meme I could think of is like when they remade all of Shrek, like in vignettes using memes.
I know Shrek is love, Shrek is life, but I know that also gets weird quick.
It does. Kermit memes. Kermit memes. And Kermit actually is a very memeable person, apparently, because I can think of automatically the Kermit Dark Side meme.
Yeah.
But my favorite
the tea
is the sipping of the tea Kermit meme. Let's see. Hit or miss memes. I don't know.
I don't know what that is.
Muffin time memes.
All right, we'll roll that into our other meme-isode.
Yeah. So there we go.
All right, this one is actually, it's not necessarily a class 2, but it might be part of a class 2 again. It says, what do you think of bullying on kids that are just themselves? I think it's wrong.
Yeah, no one's going to agree with bullying being a good thing.
So here's the thing, is my little short rant on bullying is that God created people how they are, and we should respect that, and then we should love people and not be jerks.
Yeah, why can't we just all get along? Like everybody's weird. Yeah. Everybody's weird. Let's embrace the weirdness.
I'm just going to go ahead and say, I'm shouting everyone out that's listening to this podcast, you're weird.
Yeah.
That's for sure. All right.
Okay. How do you feel about Harry P times Draco Malfoy? I hate it, but it's kind of I kind of love it.
Harry Potter. I was picturing the vegetable.
We're gonna push this aside because it's talking about once again slash fic, which we don't need to get into.
All right. I don't know what that is, but
you're
we already did a Harry
yourself tonight for looking it up.
We did a Harry Potter episode. already. So go find that. It says, oh, here we go. This one kind of goes in with our other one we set to the side. Spill the tea. There's a meme. Spill the tea of how it is to be a teacher. How do you manage to get along with your coworkers? How do you not break down crying from stress? How do you deal with the students?
Well, we do break down crying from stress
Every day.
Our coworkers just ignore us.
Yeah, they wonder what we're doing. In reality, the only reason I do it is because Jesus is working in me, and otherwise I would literally be crying every day because sometimes it's like banging your head against a wall.
Like it's like we could do like a super in-depth episode about that. There's so much like tough and hard stuff about it, but it's those tiny occasions that are awesome, that are so awesome that makes it worth all of this.
Glimmers of hope when you see a student finally learn something is amazing.
Yes. How do you feel about Hamilton?
The human or the play?
I think he is shooting it straight.
I was going to say, actually, I feel like he made a poor choice in shooting up.
You have the better pun. Hats off to you, sir. Here, I will grab a hat. Hats off to you.
All right. This one says, handwrite better. I'm sorry. I can't blame anyone. My mother was my teacher for handwriting.
This is a picture of a pig.
Oh, and it's signed with a student name. Student who you are, we found your pig. He was asking me earlier if I found the pig yet.
You know what? I'm going to take a picture of this, and I'm going to put it on our album art.
All right.
So it's earned that.
Okay, so we have... I'll just ask you the question. You'll probably know the answer. What does the ocean say to the shore?
What does the ocean say to the shore?
Nothing, it just waves.
I had a feeling it was a wave one. All right.
We're getting down to the bottom of the box here.
This says talk cars. We already did that.
Are all the cars things from the same person? Because I feel like they are.
I do not know.
It says favorite movie and snack while watching movies. Oh, that's a good question.
Is it also favorite movie in general?
Favorite movie in general, and then favorite snack while watching movies.
Well, we've already talked about my favorite movie. In fact, we talked about it last week. Monty Python and the Holy Grail is my favorite movie of all time. In fact, let's not go to Camelot. It's a silly place. But my favorite snack to eat on while I watch a movie would probably be gummies.
Oh, man. We have more in common than you would ever imagine.
We're both sneaking in gummy bears in our wife's purses when we go eat at the movie theater.
Except, I will say specifically, not the bears. I do like the bears. But
I rarely get the bears. Most of the time, I get, like, at Dollar Tree, there's, like, the mixture pack.
Oh, yeah.
Of, like, 7, like, it's, like, has cola bottles, cherries, all that stuff.
I would definitely shout out. I lived in Germany for a little while and got like addicted to Haribo gummies, and they have Haribo gummy spaghetti that you can't get here, and it is amazing and addictive, but it's better slightly stale. So
is that, wait a second, is that like the licorice peels, but it's just
okay? No,
like gummified.
So it's literally like
stringy
it comes in a
gummies?
pack, and it's like spaghetti. It's individual strands, and it's about the same width as spaghetti, and it's coated kind of like a Sour Patch Kids. Like think like Sour Patch Kids.
So it's like a spaghetti sour straw.
Yes, except it's way better. It's much more gummy than it is kind of that.
Yeah, that licorice.
Yeah, definitely. And favorite movie. Oh man.
Like I said, actually, I have done, like, on the hashtag fave5, I have, like, my favorite, I actually have my top movies already selected, so if you need some time to think, I can just real quick go through my favorite movies of all time. In fact, I believe it was a fave 7 at the time. So, my favorite movies are Monty Python and the Holy Grail, Scott Pilgrim versus the World, The Blues Brothers, Back to the Future, Ocean's 11, Kingpin, and Superbad.
All right, I'm just going by the seat of my pants here. I'm going to go ahead and once again shout out the one I got heavily criticized for selecting this one. Don't be a hater. It's just because you haven't seen it. The Princess Bride is definitely in the top 5.
Who hated you for liking the Princess Bride?
Administration.
What?
Don't worry.
What?
We'll get our chance to have that
What?
conversation. So,
Andre the Giant.
exactly.
Andre the Giant.
The Princess and Inigo Montoya. The Princess Bride. We'll go Secondhand Lions in there. We will go the original Pirates of the Caribbean, but I wish the other ones didn't exist. So just the first Pirates of the Caribbean.
You see, that's weird because I really like the first one's all right. I like the middle two.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm a much bigger.
I like the middle
I love
two.
the first one. How it just ends with like it could just keep going. Like
I like
love
the
that.
middle two. The newest one without Keira Knightley and all them.
Yeah.
And just brings back Johnny Depp is surprisingly good.
It was significantly better than the other one, the second.
The Stranger
Tides,
like the Stranger Tides one. That was that one.
Is that the mermaid one?
I don't know.
Yeah,
it's the
terrible.
one with
Whatever it was terrible.
It's the one with Selma Hayek.
Oh, there's an ant in our studio. Anyway, so well, that was a top 3 right there. So I'll leave it at that.
All right, is it Jibsen or Disney in the SpongeBob font?
Okay, I believe that is Giznep.
Giznep.
Giznep. And if you look up the Disney logo with the word Giznep in your head, you'll know exactly what they're talking about.
Well, the D has that unique D to it. And in fact, I believe there's a video that I think Cheddar did. It was either Cheddar or Vox that did it over the Disney signature, that very specific way that they do it now, and how Walt Disney used that signature maybe once or twice in his life. He actually had 50 different signatures.
So they just picked that one because they liked it.
I think so.
All right. I have a suggestion on why does unnamed student wear shorts in the wintertime. They're pretty chill.
This one asks us to bring Ozzy Osbourne on as a guest. Sharon, not Sharon Osbourne, but just Ozzy. I don't think our clout is that big yet.
I think that if you think we have that kind of pull, you're riding a crazy train.
We could possibly get Mr. Crawley, though. We could possibly get Mr. Crawley.
We have 3 left. And this one, I did not intentionally pick this one up. It just says Norman is my fave dumb white guy, LOL. I'll take it.
I don't blame him.
But
he's my favorite dumb white guy.
He's not mine. I'm sorry. I don't agree with that one.
What is 0 divided by 0? Impossible.
I don't know who these people are. Who is better, Danya or Lil Durk?
Danya or Lil Durk? I've never listened to him, and they asked us to listen to both of them, but we can't because that's a copyright infringement, and so it would violate Article 13, or Amendment 13, so we can't. But just based off the name, Lil Durk? Question?
Yeah, not sure.
All right.
I will say the last thing we got in here was 60 cents, and it's the first money we've earned off this podcast, so we'll take it.
Now we're just negative how much in the hole now?
$92.
Negative $92.
Thank you, Blue Yeti.
Yes, but it is so much better because now we can really get into AMSR.
We can do the just. That's for another episode, though. We had a request.
So did we have a raptor breathing in here? That was crazy.
that was crazy. That was intense. Like
All
camping.
right. I think that will do it for today.
That wraps it up.
We have actually conquered the Suggustion Box. I didn't think we would be able to do it.
I did not. I feel like this is going to be a long episode, but it's worth it. It's worth it. And I will end with the dramatic guest coming soon.
Yes, so keep an ear out for that. But until next time, until next week, I've been Paul Davidson.
And I am and will be Scott Norman.
And we've been 2
dumb white guys.
All right, see you later. Now I actually have to edit stupid thing.
Oh, I should